In a 5-4 decision, the Supreme Court has allowed Donald Trump and his cohorts to cut more than nearly $800 million in federal research grants associated with diversity, equity, and inclusion. The ruling overturns a lower court's decision and allows the National Institutes of Health to withdraw existing funding. Health and education leaders warn this action will inflict long-lasting damage on critical scientific and medical research. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson issued a strong dissent, while the majority claimed that distributing the grants would cause irreparable harm to the government. I don't know how that's going to be the case. Now, for now, the court has blocked Trump's new anti-DEI rules for future funding, but hundreds of millions of dollars for current projects are still at risk. Now, here's the problem here. This was money that Congress allocated. And this is how Republicans aren't doing their job. They are ceding their legal authority to the executive branch. And trust me, when the Democrat is sitting in the Oval Office, you know they're going to be yelling and screaming about how, oh my God, this is so unfair. Folks, we're talking about cuts that deal with research, that deal with the inequities between black and white people. But when you have white nationalists and racists now running the government, this is no shock. Michael Imhotep is the host of the African History Network show out of Detroit. Matt Manning, civil rights attorney out of Corpus Christi. Dr. Julian Malveaux, economist, President Emerita Bennett College, author of Surviving and Thriving, 365 Facts in Black Economic History. Y'all show the book. Y'all don't have a book? Now, y'all supposed to, okay, y'all, when we do, I keep telling y'all, we have authors. Thank you. See, y'all got to show the book. Come on now, y'all got to keep up now. Let's go. All right, let's get right down to it. I'll start with you, Julian. This is real simple. These thugs, these racists, we see how they are, how they operate. But again, the real problem here, Congress allocated the money. And so Trump is acting like, oh, I have the right to do whatever I want. And these idiot Republicans are letting him. And so this is why I say to the next Democrat in the White House, hopefully after 2028, return the favor. All right, so we have issues with Julian's audio. Y'all got to let me know this stuff, y'all. Okay, let's go to Matt. Matt, I want to take the question. Please fix Julian's audio.
Might see my little fan.
Okay, guys, I can't hear Matt. What are we doing?
Actually, I think that was my fault, Roland. Can you hear me?
Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, that was my mistake, not your staff. I apologize. I was on mute. But nonetheless, what I was saying is, I think you're right. I think what's going to happen is when a Democrat is in the White House and he or she tries to exercise this same authority, they're going to say, you don't have the power to do that. You're usurping the power of Congress. And what I still do not understand is why people in Congress en masse are continuing to capitulate to this president and ceding their own power. If Congress has the power of the purse, then of course the president has to be able to use, that some of those allotted monies in their administration of the executive branch. However, they don't get to just by and large decide what Congress has appropriated is not going to go where it's supposed to go, because that's constitutional. And the thing about this that's especially problematic is you're talking about research grants. You're talking about what helps not only America move forward, what helps us solve diseases, or cure diseases and solve major societal problems. So taking this money away under the guise of DEI hurts everybody, black and white, and people of all colors. And it's stupid. It's just a matter of them flexing their authority. But what you see the Supreme Court allowing this administration to continue to do is to try to grab more ground. And the problem is going to be, it's not going to be able to be retracted no matter who's in the office, in the next administration. And you're going to have a problem where the balance of power is forever affected by this administration's continued usurpation of power.
And listen, I keep saying this, Michael. If this is how Republicans want to roll, Democrats should say, oh, let's be clear. We are going to return the favor.
Yeah, absolutely. Return the favor, take notes, understand what's going on, understand that this is how dictatorships come into power. This is taking away power from the legislative branch of government. The power of the purse, Article 1, Section 9, Clause 7 of the U.S. Constitution, if I remember correctly. The power to tax and spend belongs to Congress. Donald Trump is continuing to test the boundaries of the executive branch's authority. And he continues to get these wins in this 6-3 conservative Supreme Court that he helped set up with the help of the Heritage Foundation and the Federalist Society. And for those that don't know, the Heritage Foundation are the ones that put out Project 2025. So, yes, as we see in California, as we see Governor Gavin Newsom just signed into law to be able to put on the ballot the redistricting maps. California is fighting back. Democrats in California are fighting back against this authoritarian regime. And this we're going to have to fight all across the country. We see Trump saying now, next he's going to probably go into Chicago with at least the National Guard to crack down on crime, et cetera. Once again, testing
Hold on, Michael, one second. I'm going to get to that. I want to stay on the money. I want to stay on the money.
It's all connected, but go ahead. I understand.
No, actually, it's not connected. That's separate. I'm going to deal with that later. I got to stay on the money because the whole point, here's the whole point here, and this is the problem, and Matt, you nailed it. The problem is this here. What they are essentially saying is, whatever bill Congress passes, we can then do whatever the hell we want to. Now, previous presidents tried to do a line item veto. The Supreme Court said that's not allowed. Matt, this is a backdoor line item veto. This is literally, again, what I don't understand is how can a Supreme Court act as if Congress doesn't matter? The Constitution is clear. Anything dealing with money begins in the House. It begins in the House. Congress appropriates. Then it goes to the Senate. And they're just sitting here going, hey, King Trump, go right ahead.
Yeah, look, appropriation and administration are not the same thing. So Congress appropriates it. Even if the White House can administer that money through its executive policy, they're not the primogenitor of that money. The money doesn't come from them. It comes from Congress. And the problem with that is, one, if you want to have any semblance of the balance of power, this actually affects the Supreme Court down the line. You're not seeing it yet. But Congress, one of the checks that Congress actually has on the federal judiciary is the money it allots to the federal judiciary, right? So when the judges want raises or if the federal judiciary across the board needs more money, that ultimately comes from Congress. So what you see sometimes when the federal judiciary is making decisions that Congress doesn't like, Congress can either pass legislation or they can decide to rescind some of that money that goes to the judiciary. I say that to say, when you are recognizing through court rulings that the executive can continue to grab more power, that affects your bottom line. Because if down the road he or she doesn't like you and they want to say that the money Congress appropriated to you is not going to go to you, then it will not go to you. And it seems to me to be a dangerous precedent to set rather than standing firm on the constitutional balance of power that is supposed to exist.
Well, again, they're just sitting here and like it's no big deal. And I need people to understand this is a cult we're dealing with, and they're going to allow their cult leader to do whatever it is they want to do. Now, we have a responsibility to do what we have to do.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.